Big explosion. Ukraine 30th Brigade attack Russian ammo depot and artillery in all-out battle. A Russian ammunition depot blew up after a Ukrainian attack as Putin's forces pull out of the illegally annexed province of Donetsk. Ukrainian troops struck a Russian warehouse, causing a massive explosion in the eastern Donetsk Oblast. Some flames can be seen after a first small detonation. But then, a gigantic explosion destroys all the surroundings, sending a plume of dark smoke over the village of Kodyma in eastern Ukraine. The explosion can be seen from miles away as the enormous plume of dark smoke rises above the region. The brigade put out the footage on Twitter, saying, "Huge explosion of a Russian warehouse containing ammunition and howitzers in Donetsk Oblast after being targeted by the Ukrainian 30th Mechanized Brigade." The detonation happened only 50 miles away from the strategic city of Lyman, which Ukrainian forces recaptured in a successful counterattack. As of 9:30 GMT, Lyman is fully cleared, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said in a short video clip on his Telegram channel. Ukrainian forces have retaken the totality of the Donetsk city only 2 days after Putin threatened to use all of Russia's means to protect the 4 Ukrainian regions he has illegally annexed. Russian forces had captured the entire Donetsk province in July after weeks of grinding advances. Now, Russian troops appear to be on the back foot as they keep losing territories. To the own admission of the Russian Defense Ministry, Putin's troops were forced to pull out of Lyman to more advantageous lines due to a threat of encirclement by Ukrainian forces. The liberation of this city in the Donetsk region is one of the key factors for the further deoccupation of the Luhansk region, the Luhansk governor, Serhiy Gaidai, wrote on the Telegram messaging app on Sunday. Lyman is important because it is the next step towards the liberation of the Ukrainian Donbass, said Serhiy Cherevatiai, a spokesperson for Ukraine's eastern forces. It is an opportunity to go further to Kreminna and Severodonetsk, and it is psychologically very important, him is saying. After recapturing the northeastern region of Kharkiv and part of Donetsk, the Ukrainian forces now have their eyes set on the Russian-controlled provinces of Luhansk and Zaporizhia. In a desperate bid to counter the Ukrainian counteroffensive, Ramzan Kadyrov, leader in the Russian region of Chechnya, urged Putin to consider using a low-yield nuclear weapon in Ukraine. More drastic measures should be taken, right up to the declaration of martial law in the border areas and the use of low-yield nuclear weapons, the Chechnyan leader wrote on Telegram. Ukrainian President Zelensky ruled out any peace talks with Russia following Putin's illegal annexation of the 4 Ukrainian provinces. Meanwhile, a Russian Ural 4320 truck was filmed on the roadside in Donetsk as the vehicle erupted into flames. The Russian military has continued to suffer brutal losses of equipment as the Ukrainian counteroffensive operation has advanced into Donetsk. Kremlin troops were forced out of Lyman, a key strategic stronghold in Donetsk that Vladimir Putin had hoped to formally annex into the Russian Federation following a series of pseudo-referendums in occupied territories. The advance of President Zelensky's military has left a graveyard of destroyed Russian vehicles and weapons in its wake as Moscow makes desperate attempts to rally 300,000 additional troops in a bid to persist with the failing invasion. Video footage from Donetsk captured the wreckage of a Russian military Ural 4320 truck in a roadside ditch within the Donbass region. The vehicle is primarily used for the transportation of military personnel and cargo, designed especially to cope with tough terrain. In addition, the Ural 4320 model is adapted to serve as a launching platform for the Soviet-era BM-21 multiple rocket system. In total, independent conflict analyst site Oryx has confirmed the Russian armed forces have lost at least 1,731 military trucks and jeeps since the conflict in Ukraine began. Ukrainian authorities claim the number is closer to 4,000, although the information is difficult to verify given the war is ongoing. The Kremlin lost the occupied town of Lyman at the beginning of October as undermanned brigades of Russian troops were forced to retreat in the face of advancing Ukrainian soldiers. Lyman has since been declared formally liberated from Russian control by the Ukrainian Ministry of Defense. The loss comes as a significant blow to Kremlin authorities given President Putin announced plans to formally annex both the Donetsk and Luhansk areas of the Donbass region in a speech on Friday.
Now!